TBR shelf. Officially finished Prodigal Summer. Welcome to episode 2 of Mood Reader Chronicles. I am so tired. It is like 7:43. It's like 8 o'clock right now. I just dropped my boyfriend off. I'm going to get dressed, maybe eat something, and go on a walk because I need to finish the Poisonwood Bible. I started this in my last vlog. Didn't really get too far, but I did read a good chunk of this while I was at work. So when I sit down with my breakfast, I'll give you a little update. But I'm gonna get dressed, eat some food, and then go on a walk and hopefully finish that. Now, what's gonna be in the rest of this vlog, I have no idea. And that's the fun of the Mood Reader Chronicles, because I literally don't really know what I feel like reading. I know I need to finish that book. And I really want to catch up on my reading journal this weekend. I have 3 days off. Next week, well, I'll have 2 days off instead of 3. So I need to do as much as I can this week. Hold on, my arm's getting tired. So yeah, I think I want to do some of my reading journal. I was really hoping to go on like a big hike. In a couple of months, I'm planning on doing like a really big hike for my birthday. And so I've been like training my body up to do like a 8-mile hike because I'm not there yet. It's supposed to be really rainy, so I don't think that's gonna happen. I do want to go book shopping. I have some books that I'd like to not return, but like see if I can sell. So yeah, maybe reading journal, maybe book shopping, maybe some cozy gaming audiobook combination, because that feels like it's in my future. But other than finishing up Prodigal Summer, I have no idea what I'm going to read. But thank you for joining me on episode 2 of the Mood Reader Chronicles. Before we get into this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment of what you're currently reading, because I'd love to know. I think I asked that last time, but I don't know. I just want to know what you guys are reading. And yeah, let's get into this. Let me go get dressed and go for a walk and wake up. And also, I have my coffee over there somewhere and I need to drink that. So let's get into this. So I got my food, my breakfast. I just made 2 eggs and bacon. That's like kind of my everyday thing. If I had bread, we need to go to the store. I don't have bread, so yeah. And then I have my iced latte with oat milk, blonde iced latte with oat milk. I'm trying to not put sugar in my coffee anymore. I don't want to get into that spiel, but yeah. And I impulsively like trimmed my bangs. I need to like wash my hair and stuff and like they'll look better, but yeah. I'm about to eat my breakfast, about to drink my coffee, but I thought real quickly before I go on my long walk, I thought I would talk about Prodigal Summer. I have about 4 hours left on the audio. I am immersion reading it, but I'm immersion reading it when I'm physically reading it, but then when I'm like cooking, cleaning, walking this doggy right here, I'm listening to the audiobook. So I have about 4 hours left, but I do listen to my audiobooks on 2 times speed, so I'm getting close to the end. And I started annotating it, but then I started listening to the audiobook. That always happens to me, like literally always happens to me. But anyways, yeah, so I read Demon Copperhead by this author. And I really want to read Poisonwood Bible, but I also wanted to read this one. And I decided to read this one because summer. Wait, that's the wrong word. Summer. But also, I just thought I really liked a lot of people were talking about the nature writing in this, and yeah, this is a book that's essentially about multiple storylines. I think it's 3 storylines, multiple storylines that all are like interconnected, and they all take place in the mountains of Appalachia. So far I really like it. I don't think it's as good as Demon Copperhead, but like, it's not fair to compare anything to Demon Copperhead in my personal opinion. I am mostly reading this for the nature writing, the nature metaphors, the nature themes, all that jazz. I think that this book is for a very specific kind of person. There's really nothing happening. It's a very character-driven story. I feel like I have never read one of her books, but for some reason, I just feel like it makes sense. I feel like if you like Anne Patchett, you would like something like this. There's a lot of like ecology conversations, a lot of like commentary and like conversations around different aspects of ecology. I think that if like nature / ecology is like a special interest for you in any way, like this book would be for you. But I think the average person would read this book and find it pretty boring. I, for one, I'm not finding it boring. I'm finding it calming. I didn't want to binge this, like the audio, while I was at work, because there's not enough going on to keep me busy while I'm at work, or like keep my brain busy while I'm at work. But when I do sit down to read this, I just really enjoy, like I said, it's calming. The writing really, there's some bars. There's some bangers, man. The first line alone, I love. Like, I think it really sums up this whole book. Her body moved with the frankness that comes from solitary habits. But solitude is only a human presumption. Every quiet step is thunder to Beetle's life underfoot. Every choice is a world made new for the chosen. All secrets are witnessed. I don't know. It also reads like 3 separate stories, and what's really cool is like, so it doesn't put like the name. You know how like usually when there's 3 perspectives, it'll have like their names. Instead of their names, it's like their story title almost. So it's The Predator, Moth Love, and Old Chestnuts. I think my favorite one so far, I'm really loving Moth Love. So, well, I don't know. I like Moth Love. Moth Love is about a woman who's super recently widowed, and you are watching her deal with that, but you're also watching her deal with essentially like her family doesn't like her, or like her husband's family doesn't like her, and she moved from the city to be with him and to live on this farm. And so when he passed away, now like she has the farm now, and so there's a lot that comes with that. And there's a lot of conversation about like the ecology of like farming, and like what is she gonna do now with the farm, because that whole town are like tobacco farms, and she doesn't want to farm tobacco because she's like, it's bad for you. I'm really liking The Predator. The Predator is about like an older woman. She's like, I want to say 47, and in the beginning she's a park ranger, and she lives like a national park, and that's what she does. She takes care of the park. And in the beginning, she meets a man while she's out there, and they start a relationship, and he's a younger man. And so in her chapters, there's a lot of conversation about like love and being an older woman and what that means, but also like being an older woman with a younger man. I think he's in his like 30s. But she's a park ranger, and she's also very like, he's a hunter. And so there's a lot of conversation around like, is it okay to hunt, and what animals is it okay to hunt, and that type of stuff, which I really appreciate. Oh yeah, and then I forgot to say, the recently widowed, she's a like, I forgot what the term is. She's like a bug person, and she studies moths. And so there's a lot of, she compares a lot of stuff to moths. I don't know. I'm really enjoying the writing. I'm enjoying, like, it's a very close character-driven story. But this is exactly what I wanted when I said, like, nature writing. I I love how everything is calling back to nature. Oh, are you going over there? He probably doesn't like I'm swinging my hands everywhere. Yeah, I could honestly go on and on and on specifically about the nature writing. And yeah, the third POV I didn't really like get into, but he's an old man. He's a crouchety old man. And I'm liking that conversation too, because I like when we follow older characters and you get conversations around older characters and like older as in like elderly, and you get conversations around like what it means to be an old person now. Like you lived your life and like the elderly experience, I guess. And so I always enjoy getting a POV, but specifically I like when it's like grouchy old people, because I'm like, you could change with the times, but at the same time it's like I kind of understand why you're a little bit of an asshole. I'm genuinely loving this. I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star because I'm trying to only give 5 stars to like new favorites, but it's exactly what I thought Barbara Kingsolver was gonna deliver with a nature forward story, and it's making me even more excited to get to the Poisonwood Bible, because I feel like that one might be like the plot might be a little bit up my alley, but the writing in this is exactly what I want. And if you have, like I said, any special interest in like ecology, this is definitely a book that you should try. And I think I've showed this before, but like this hardback is so like it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh my god. So I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna finish up my eggs and my bacon and my coffee, and then I don't know where I want to go walk, because I want to do a couple miles of a walk. My plan was to do a hike. There's a big-ish hike near me that I like doing with a gorgeous view, but it rained, and it's gonna rain all week, and it rained, and I feel like it might be a little muddy, and there is a nice like walking path, I guess, like a cemented path that's like a couple miles long, which is nice too. But I really wanted to do the hike because I said before, like, I'm training. I want to go to Gatlinburg to do the big Gatlinburg like zip line trail in August, and it's currently the end of May, and so I'm trying to get my stamina up, because I possibly might do another day. I want to do maybe like a bigger trail, because there's just so many trails in Gatlinburg that I want to do. I'm trying to, on my days off, just constantly be trying to do trails and really build up my stamina. But it's so muddy and muggy. It's very, very muggy and humid. It's very humid. I don't know. I guess you'll find out in like 5 seconds. I think I did like 2 miles, maybe just a little bit more than that. I wanted to keep going. Gosh, I need a shower. I wanted to keep going, but I have to pee so bad, and there's nowhere to pee around there. So I had to head home early, but it's fine. And also, do you see, I cannot wait to take a shower. I'm about to go in there, take the best everything shower known to man, and then I'm gonna work on my reading journal, I think. That seems like the vibe today. I think I'm just gonna listen to Prodigal Summer while I do all of that, and I have like an hour and a half left, so I should definitely be getting through Prodigal Summer by the end of all of those things. So, yes.
Him even laugh at his mild expense, as if he had rejoined your ranks. It seemed to Lusa that all these scattered accounts were really parts of one long story, the history of a family that had stayed on its land. And that story was hers now, as well. In the afternoon.
So, let me put my blanket on. But yeah, so I have officially finished Prodigal Summer. So I am here to give you my final thoughts. I loved this. I am gonna give it 5 stars. I know. I need to stop saying, I'm not gonna give a book 5 stars that isn't a favorite. And I get to the end and I'm like, yeah, I mean, very much for different reasons, but The Great Alone, I kind of said the same thing. I felt like on paper that book was like made for me, and I kind of feel the exact same way about this book. I I like a long drawn out story. Not a long drawn out story, but like I like a story that like takes its time. I like a story that isn't afraid to just be very slow and intimate. And this was like 3 books, like 3 novellas. That's what it felt like. It felt like 3 novellas that all like connected for different reasons, and they were all set in the same time period. So it's not like different times, and that's how they were connected, but it's the same time period, and they're all in the same like county in the mountains of Appalachia. There's like a certain county or a certain city. I can see this book not working for a lot of people. This book to me feels like it's written for like a certain kind of person. There's a lot of conversation around ecology, like I said. All well, 2 out of the 3 POVs both really go in with different aspects of ecology. Like I said before, one of them studies bugs, and they talk about moths a lot, and using moths to talk about different things in real life, in different aspects. And she also owns a farm, so there's a lot of conversation around agriculture and farming life, and specifically like farming life with nature life, like whether it's okay to do certain things to farm, and so on and so forth. And then you kind of got a similar conversation with another one of the POVs who was a park ranger, like I mentioned in the last clip, and she had like a love story, which was very interesting. There was a love story, and she had a love story with like a hunter. So there was a lot of conversation around like, is it okay to hunt certain things, and why it is and why it isn't. And like this book feels like a fiction book on ecology. Like if you're reading a lot of like nonfiction books about ecology, this feels like a companion to those. Like it's very slow, it's very intimate, it's very character driven. There's like there is no plot. I was engaged the entire time. There's something about Barbara Kingsolver and just how she writes her characters. They feel so real. Like I felt the exact same way with Demon Copperhead. Like I think I like how Barbara Kingsolver writes her characters.
And I'm not from like the mountains of Appalachia by any means. I do live in North Carolina, so I guess proximity. I don't know. I like that both of the books were kind of set around that setting. But yeah, I am giving this 5 stars. I really, really liked this. I'm glad I decided to go with this one. This is the nature book of my dreams. This is the book that I have been saying I've been wanting. I wanted a book with just like nature facts, nature themes, nature metaphors, and this 1,010% delivered that. But now I need to pick my next read because I finished it and I still have 2 days off and I don't know what I'm going to read. So let's go to my TBR shelf and maybe we can figure it out together. Cuz I have a shelf on my shelf that's all of my physical TBR. I do have a couple audiobooks on my Libby. Well, let's go to my TBR shelf and we can talk about it. So, let's go. So, this is currently my TBR shelf. It lives with my mushroom and Hamilton. It's not very big, as you can see. I'm slowly building up. My plan is because we are currently redoing like the entire house and the room, or really just doing anything. But right here, I'm getting like a little half bookshelf, and that's gonna be like my TBR shelf. So my plan is I can't buy books when it's filled up. So clearly, like I don't really have that many unread books, which is great. Now let's see. I'm thinking either Instructions for a Heat Wave or The Atomic Way to Love. I have the Libby audiobook. I have the audiobook from my library for this one. But there's just something about this one that sounds really good. This is basically about an orcologist. Is that how you say it? The person who studies birds. And it's a long period of time. It takes you through World War II and the Vietnam War, and she's torn between two people. Like I think it's a love triangle spanning over like that large amount of time, which it's got the nature, it's got a love story, and it's got historical fiction. But this one is Miss Maggie O'Farrell, and I've been wanting to read something else by her. And this one is basically about a family, I believe. It's set in like 1976, I believe. Yeah, 1976 during the record-breaking heat wave. This is a thrifted copy. That's why it's kind of beat up. And then it's like a family comes back home basically, and then they like rekindle. It's like a family coming back together after they aren't really in a great place, I guess. So these are the two I'm trying to decide between. I'm gonna think on it and I'll come back to you. Cause really I feel like what's gonna determine it is, do I want to read with my eyeballs or do I want to immersion read?
So I'm about to go pick up my boyfriend from work, but I wanted to let you know that I have decided to do Atomic Weight of Love. Yeah, the Atomic Weight of Love. It's been a while since I've physically read a book, like with my eyeballs and not immersion read it. So I just think it would be good for me. It'd be good for me. And I think we are going to get wings and wine later. And I just feel like I can eat my wings and watch Clone Wars because that's what we're currently watching. And then pour me a glass of wine, get into my cocoon, and read this for the next couple of days. I think that would be a vibe. I'm feeling like that's a vibe.
We're ready, Admiral. General! What are you getting?
So it is Thursday, and I have plans to basically go see if I can sell some books at a like used bookstore. I guess it's called Second and Charles. Some states have it, some states don't, but it's like a half price books. I guess we don't really have a half price books where I'm at, but that bag, that beautiful bag right there, that has all my books in it. Honestly, it's mostly like books I bought 2-3 years ago that I really thought I was going to be into, but my taste has really changed since then. And I'm also very specific about like what I keep on my actual shelves. I'm very specific about what I keep on my shelves, and like I'm trying to keep, I showed you yesterday, but like I'm trying to keep my TBR shelf kind of small until I can get like my big shelf for back there. But I just feel like I'm being more intentional about the books I want to read and have like actual physical copies of, instead of like having a ton, reading it and then getting, I don't know. I can read these books from the library is what I'm trying to say. Like I don't need to have them physically. Also, I have some of the Penguin cloth bound books. I know, I'm gonna get rid of those. Like how pretty they are, but I don't really, they don't fit the like vibe that I want for my bedroom. And like I kept literally sitting on my bed and like looking at them and just being like, the idea of them is pretty, but they kind of look like an eyesore. They kind of just like stick out in my bedroom on my shelves, and I didn't really like it. And I am trying to redo my bedroom and really my whole apartment, and I just felt like somebody else can appreciate them better. So I'm gonna see if they take those. Hopefully they do. I think I just have 2 Jane Austens and then Alice in Wonderland. And then I have like a Shakespeare collection, that same thing, like I want to get rid of that for the same reason, and Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale book as well. I'm gonna get rid of that as well. But yeah, that's the plan. Used bookstore, see if I can sell those books, see if I can find any books with said credit, and I'll give you a haul if I find anything when I get back. But yeah, that's the plan for today. And then honestly, reading as much of The Atomic Weight of Love as I can. I literally drank like 2 glasses of wine and fell asleep, so it didn't get read last night, but it'll get read today for sure.
Take a picture already? Well, no, I don't need you.
You look so tired. Oh, buddy.
There he is. I was trying to find him to zoom in. Banksy, what you doing?
Hope you can hear me because my mic died. But I'm just gonna do a really quick update because I made a decision that you guys need to be notified of. So I've decided I'm gonna extend this vlog just a little bit longer because I decided to DNF the Atomic Weight of Love. This book is just really not written well, and It's all I can think about, and it's taking me out of the story. For an ornithologist, there's not a lot of that going on, and that's the main reason why I'm reading it. It's a love triangle, but it's like a very obvious, I want to write a love triangle in a book love triangle. Yeah, it's just not doing it for me. It's quite boring. I could honestly ignore the bad writing if I was getting just like the vibes that I was wanting, which was an ornithologist being an ornithologist, but it's just not what I'm getting, so I'm really bored. So I'm DNFing this. Unfortunately, it is a used library copy, so I don't think like used bookstores take these, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I usually get rid of the books I don't like, but I'll do something with it, I guess. And so I want to finish a book for this vlog. So I decided to pick up the Orchardist, I think is how you say it. He owns an orchard. He works on an orchard. It's an old man. It's basically about this old man who owns the orchard. And one day, these two pregnant teenagers come into his orchard and steal a whole bunch of stuff. And that's all I know, really. I know it's way more than that. Like, it talks about his life, and it also, I guess he's got some secrets going on, and like a troubled past, and he has to face it, and something is going on with those two teenage girls as well. It sounds really, really good, and I started listening to it on audio, and it's exactly what I want. I love like an old man telling a story, and that's exactly what it feels like, and I'm getting a lot of him on his farm, which I honestly love. I don't know, man. I'm starting to realize, you know, I really like nature books, but I like very calming, long-winded nature books. Like, I want the vibe of him being an old man who owns an orchard in Wyoming, I think. Yeah, at the turn of the 20th century in a rural stretch of the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, that's a vibe. But yeah, I go back to work tomorrow, so I'll probably read this for the next couple of days while I'm at work, and I'll give you my final thoughts on it. It's okay. I wanted this to just be a weekend, but I want you guys to get one more book, so I'm just gonna do that. And I think I'm gonna play Dwarf Romantics and listen to that audiobook for the rest of the night with Bob Ross here as my ambiance. So I'll see you guys when I finish The Organist.
Green, sap green. The paint is very thin. Now, let's go right into some. There's a little tree. Let's just drop some little things in. Don't kill all these little things. Look back here. Cute tree here.
Silent for a long time after he had spoken. Finally, she said, "When was this?" And he said, "Today."
I wasn't going to do an update before like the end. Okay, Alexa. I wasn't going to do an update before the end of like this vlog. I was just gonna end the vlog with my like feelings on The Orchardist. But I realized that I never gave you guys a haul of what I ended up getting at the bookstore. I ended up getting 4 books, one of those being the book I'm currently reading. I did own a copy of this. It was a hardback copy, but it didn't have a dust jacket. It was kind of ugly. And when I saw this and it was only $5, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this. Honestly, because I'm actually gonna give you guys my 40%, because I'm 40% into it. I'm gonna give you guys my 40% feelings on this, as well as what else I bought. But this was the first thing I bought, and I'm so glad that I went and got this pretty cover with, like, I forgot what these types of, I don't know if you can see it, but what these types of edges are called, but I really like it. So okay, let's do my really quick haul for a second. So I bought, well, you can kind of already see them, but I bought, let me put them in order, first 3 Percy Jackson books. I was always planning on getting Percy Jackson. I want to read the entire series before the end of the year. I actually kind of want to read the whole series before the end of the summer, and I think that's gonna happen. But I wanted the old covers because they felt so nostalgic to me, and I just love how the old covers feel, but they didn't have them. I could have, like, waited, ordered them on eBay, but I had the store credit, and honestly, I'm kind of obsessed. My ring light is making it hard to see these, but I'm kind of obsessed with how these look, and I just feel like annotated, they're gonna look so good. But yeah, I got the first 3 Percy Jackson books. You guys will be getting a reading vlog of these books because I'm so excited. But yeah, that's what I bought. These 3 and this. And then my boyfriend bought a Miles Morales figure that they had with the rest of the credit because I couldn't find anything else that I wanted. But yeah, so that was my haul. So let me give you my 40% feelings on this. Again, I say the name of this wrong every time. Like, I just have a hard time pronouncing it, but Orchardist. He came to join, I think. Hi, come to join? He came to join. So I'm 40% into this. I am currently reading the audiobook. I just went on Libby and it was available. And I was like, what? I was so surprised. So started this while I was at work. I've been reading it. It's only been a day since my last update, or like a full 24 hours basically, and I got, like I said, the 40% mark. I love this book. And I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately, and I think it's because I'm starting to realize that I have a very niche taste when it comes to books. But I don't think this book is for everybody. I don't think that everyone will like this book. I like very slow building books. I like books that feel like a person telling a very drawn out story, and this definitely feels like that. For the the entire first 40%, there's like nothing going on, but in the best way. I say to go in blind with almost every book, but I think with this book, it's even better. It's even better to go in blind. I just think it goes in directions that I just wasn't expecting, but it's a very slow build story about like a makeshift family. And you watch this family become a thing from a lot of random circumstances. It's very, like I said, long and drawn out, and it's a lot of just him being in the orchard and you meeting these teenage girls, like I said. And the way the story is told is very interesting too. There's like no quotation marks because there feels like there's no dialogue. There is dialogue, but like the way it's written, it's not written like it's dialogue. Man, I don't even know how to explain it, but I love it. The way it just flows, like I just really feel like I'm just listening to a man kind of just prattle on about his life and about these girls he met. And yeah, I don't know. I really like it though. I love a slow book. No idea the direction the story is gonna take. Like I don't know if it's gonna get weird. I don't know if it's gonna get thrillery or like violent. I don't know if it's just gonna stay very, yeah, so this happened and then this happened and then this happened, and very much just like a character driven story, a slow character build, just talking about this man's life. I'd be okay with that too. I have no idea where the story is going, and I kind of love it for that reason. The actual audiobook literally sounds like listening to a grandfather tell a story, and I'm so here for that. It's tracking for like a 4.5, but there is potential for this to be a 5-star. I just need the ending to land. Like I said, I don't know the direction we're going in. I don't know the vibe. Like, is it gonna get weird? Is it gonna stay calm? Is it, like I said, all those things before, I have no idea what direction it's going in. So I feel like the ending is going to determine, is it going to get that 4.5 or is it going to get that 5-star? Because 2 5-stars in a vlog would be fun. I'm really glad I bought this copy. I was really worried that it was gonna be another Atomic Way to Love situation, and it's definitely not. And I'm so happy. But yeah, the next time you guys will see me, it will be the end. I will give you my final rating on this book. I will give you my wrap up of all the books I've read, and that will be it. What do I want to do now? I'm home alone today because my boyfriend went to go see a movie with his friends, and so I'm home alone. And I feel like I'm never home alone, so I never know what to do with myself. Well, that's not true. I am home alone, but sometimes, just not a lot. And I enjoy being home alone. I love being alone. Love him, just love being alone. I feel like Dwarf Romantics and this book is a really good combination. And I know I just like said that it's a puzzle game that I play on my Switch that I really love to play with audiobooks. For some reason, it keeps me very engaged, but it's a very simple concept. If anybody has similar game recommendations, I would love to know, because that's kind of my bread and butter when it comes to audiobooks. I love playing Dwarf Romantics with audiobooks, but for some reason, it's really scratching an itch with this book. So I might do that after I eat. But yeah, I will see you guys when it's time for me to finish the vlog. I am here to finish up this vlog, to give you guys my final thoughts and feelings on everything, and just end this vlog because this has gone on way too long. I have finished The Orchidist. I just woke up like a couple hours ago. That's a lie. I woke up like an hour ago. I'm waiting on my coffee to brew. So I thought I'd go ahead and do this. My bangs are wet because I'm trying to get them to like sit nicely, but yeah, and I'm trying to be kind of quiet, and you are the first person I've been talking to since I woke up. My boyfriend's asleep. So my final thoughts on The Orchidist. I ended up giving this a 4.5. I kind of wanted to give it a 5. I really enjoyed this, and I'll get into why, but I felt like the end was like 40 pages too long, honestly, which was unfortunate. It was a moment where I was like, okay, if it ends here, I'm giving it a 5-star. It didn't end there, and then I was like, and I was listening to it while I was at work, and that's always annoying because it's like, I'm like, I want to go home, and this book isn't ending, and it just kind of compiled on each other, and so I think it made it to where like it felt even longer. Okay, so it didn't get weird, like I was saying, but it did go in a direction I wasn't expecting. Really, at the core, this is a book about like what trauma can do to you, and grief can do to you. I didn't mention this, it is on the back of the book, but his sister, the orchardist's sister, disappeared when he was a kid, or I guess when he was a kid. He was orphaned, and it was just him and his sister taking care of this orchard, and his sister disappeared when they were both really young, and that single event kind of affects how he ended up going through life. So when these two teenage girls come into his life and they make this like makeshift family, again, it's on the back of the book, how he mentally was dealing with his sister disappearing and the grief of losing his sister and never knowing what happened affects the choices that he makes with these teenage girls, like throughout this long period of time. I really enjoyed the slow build. If you don't like 200 pages of someone taking care of an orchard and just kind of thinking thoughts to themselves, you're gonna hate it. Again, I really liked the flow of like the dialogue and the storytelling, but I can see people getting confused or people just not liking the slow build of it all. But I love books like this, and I also love a story that just feels like an old man telling me a story. And I always love when an ending really just takes everything from the beginning and compiles into the ending. At the end of it, I felt like those 200 pages of dilly-dallying and those 200 pages of just telling me what he's thinking while he's taking care of his orchard, I felt like it was worth it. But like, I'm the target audience for something like this, so I definitely enjoyed it. And 4.5 stars, like I said. So I finished 2 books for this vlog and then DNF'd 1. So to give you the rundown before I say goodbye, Atomic Way to Love, I decided to DNF. Prodigal Summer, 5 stars. And then The Orchardist, 4.5 stars. I'm really excited. After I finish this update, I'm actually going to start my next vlog, and it's going to be strictly audiobooks and cozy hobbies, and I'm very excited about that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.